Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we finished off our South African road trip series with my parents that started and ended in their hometown of Stellenbosch.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go.
Over a period of several weeks, we made and shared some special memories, but as with all good things, they must come to an end. However,
the adventure doesn't end here. In fact, it just begins.
We've got to unpack a whole house.
in this video, Juan and I share our new life adventure as we move into a rather unconventional home on the outskirts of the Stellenbosch wine region.
Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure.
We also share the pros and cons of living in a silo.
We are all looking for adventure.
So in the last video we told you that we were starting out on a new adventure, and this is the start.
Look at this.
This is where it all begins.
That's chaos.
Today is unpacking day. Loads of boxes, and you don't even want to see this lounge. Yay, our bed fits! Because as you can imagine, we have an extra length bed. So it fits, that's what's important. We still have a lot of unpacking to do.
Oh boy.
And I'm really hungry now. But the work must continue. Okay, so we think we have got sussed out our studio space or our office space. I'm putting my favorite picture up there in front of us on the wall, so it won't be my backdrop anymore. And what we've got going over here, we think we're going to move this cupboard. We do have a recording studio on the third floor. When I'm doing lives on my laptop, I'm going to want to have a different kind of backdrop, so we're going to probably move this into the lounge. And then Jean has his little recording studio in here. So on this wall behind here is where he's going to be putting his whiteboards so that he can record his educational videos, and it is separate from the office space. So I think that's a good setup, eh? The kitchen is starting to look like a kitchen. It's already 5:15.
Dear Lord.
Bloody hell. What time did we get here?
I don't know.
The only room that we've managed to unpack so far is the kitchen.
And it's not done.
And we're still going.
You open these up. Seeing we are building the recording studio right on the third floor, the top floor. I'm thinking, why don't I just put my whiteboards up there as well and do my educational videos up there?
But an even better plan is food. Before anyone gets hangry.
No one's angry yet. Everyone's hungry, but not hangry.
We have food.
We have food, look at this.
So delicious.
Excuse me, I'm gonna go eat.
Our trusty app, Happy Cow, led us to Suki Thai, which looked very promising given the number of patrons. So we're very excited to try this. Our very first night here at the silo. We have our table set up and a nice Stella beer.
As Abigail said, we even have the best beer.
Yeah, toasting the new adventure.
Cheers.
Cheers to new adventure.
New adventures. Yeah. Either we were incredibly hungry.
Oh, that was just the best pad thai we have ever had.
Listen to all those frogs.
I love it.
We've got a lake right here. We'll show you the lake
In the morning. So now that our bellies are full,
We made it! Made it to bed, that is. Not unpacking the house.
it's past midnight already. We've been going for close on a solid 12 hours. And on that note, we're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you in the morning. Night night.
Good night.
It's not something you see every morning. So this is where we live now. Okay, so tell us what's happened.
I don't wanna.
You have to.
I measured wrong. It doesn't go through there because that's how it closes, idiot. It goes through there. Okay, time for release.
Country living.
Sure it catches flies.
That's true. Where are you gonna release it?
There. Oh.
Okay, good. Let the birdies tackle it. Oh, it's warm, eh? Cheerio. The realities of countryside living.
Next one is hers.
Now I gotta get this picture up on the wall. We've made significant progress today. We're taking a well-deserved, well-earned picnic in the garden. 90% of the lounge is done. Our bedroom is done. The studio and my wardrobe just needs to be done. And then it is getting the drill out and putting things on the walls. We're nearly there. It's starting to feel like home.
Almost there.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye.
It's the next day and we didn't record anything today. Why? Because it's almost 40 degrees Celsius.
Want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, honey. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives.
Abigail's book was dry though. Let's have a look at what's inside. So that's our first dry. Oh. Vegan sausages. Potato and onion. Carrot and carrot. Wood chips for smoking.
It smells delicious.
So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young, so are we.
We're delirious from the heat and hunger. So we'll catch you in the morning.
If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, honey.
Okay, so we've been here a couple of, days, weeks now?
Oh, well, I don't think it's even 2 weeks, is it?
Finding
Or it
our
might just
groove,
be.
yeah. But we have to admit that we've already had an intruder.
Oh, yes.
No.
I wonder if we should go upstairs.
We were sleeping, fast asleep in bed, and then all of a sudden we both felt a presence. And the next thing we know, we wake up and there's someone in our bedroom, and he's back.
Or she.
We're not quite sure,
sure.
but our intruder is right outside. Oh. I know. Okay, foodies is coming.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yes, we talk about you. Just the cutest kitty, so cute and so friendly. Greets you when you get home in the car. Being vegan, we don't have anything meaty to give it, so we're cooking up a vegan burger.
Half a vegan burger.
And we're gonna see if he likes it.
No luck.
Okay, so now that you have seen us moving into the silo, we wanted to just share a little bit about what it's actually like living in a silo.
Pros and the cons of living in a silo.
In an unconventional space. And the reason why we landed up choosing the silo to live in is because when we made the decision that we want to move out of the city into the countryside, we didn't want to land up in one of your more conventional housing estates or neighborhoods or
That's kind of the whole point. And so it's just these 3 silos on a farm, and it was converted into
apartments or homes.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly the key. We were looking at all these complexes and townhouses, and they were just so chock-a-block and so close to each other, and you were in the face of your neighbor.
Stay in the city,
Yeah, absolutely. And it didn't feel like we were making any kind of significant change then from being in the city. So when the silo came up, it looked like the perfect thing for us.
And fortunately, we found someone to rent our condo in town. She moved into our place, and we are still renting it out till this day.
Yeah, absolutely. So that worked out really well, and it allowed us a little bit of freedom to go and experiment in this unconventional way of living. So now onto the pros and cons of living in a silo.
What are the pros?
I think the pros are what we've just mentioned, in that being a silo, it is separate and distinct, and it is, not right on top of other neighbors, given that it is in the countryside. So I think that kind of country vibe.
Yeah, definitely, that is the pro, in as much as you're not going to find a silo in amongst other apartment blocks and condominium blocks inside the middle of a city.
Yeah. I think another pro for us is that it is unconventional, and we do non-conformity. We aspire to non-conformity quite a bit. So, so that was ticked that box for us.
Were there any other pros?
I enjoyed the height and being able to be, on the 3rd floor, and it's like you're when you look out the window, it's like you're in your own little tree house, because you were right in there with the trees, and the birds were up there, and you could see all the birds doing what they do. You would never get that vantage point at that height otherwise. So I really enjoyed that.
But you still live on the ground level. You can still just walk out your front door into your garden. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us, that was a huge pro, in that coming from a city apartment, we didn't have a garden or an outside area. So having, access to that garden was a huge plus for us.
Plus the specific ones also at the bottom, they were built out. So the kitchen was kind of outside the roundness of the silo, and the study area as well. So there was like a square base. At the bottom, it was extended at the base. So you did have the extra space, not just stuck inside the circular living of a silo.
Yeah. I would also say another pro is that because of the different floors, being ground floor, 1st floor and 2nd floor, we were able to separate ourselves from our work, in that we had our desks and office space downstairs, we had our bedroom in the middle on the 1st floor, and then we also had a recording studio / 2nd office on the top floor. And having come from a studio apartment where you could never close off work from personal space,
Did we ever do that? Even there?
No, we did though. Like not only a mental but also a physical
But
separation.
did we stop working ever?
No, it didn't necessarily change
No.
our habits, but it did have a physical cut-off that you, when you were in your room, you knew that you weren't
Sure.
working. So that was a plus.
Okay, here comes the cons.
And somebody on their bike.
On a bridge, which is a shaky bridge.
Yeah. So the cons of living in a silo.
Well, it comes down to temperature, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah.
It was very hot during summer, and then of course that silo just
Retains all of that heat.
radiates it inside the whole night. The walls never cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in the heat of the Stellenbosch summer at 40 degrees Celsius outside, it was the same inside as it was outside.
And at night it just maintained that oven-like
Temperature.
And then in winter, when you put the grain in, I suppose that you've got to keep the grain cool. And it really
So
works
the reverse is true.
very well as a fridge.
Yeah, so it
Oh.
was freezing cold,
Yeah.
freezing cold. Yeah, and so it's just not geared for human comfort,
No.
let's say.
And
It is geared
it's very
for its
difficult
function
to heat it
as a
up as
silo.
well.
Yeah.
Very difficult to heat it up.
Yeah,
Because the
of
volume, the
Yeah.
heat just goes up and it's gone.
Yeah, and that
and at the-
stairwell,
yeah.
you can't close that off, so
And
the
then
heat just disappears
All
at the
that
top.
iciness on the first floor and the ground floor. Oh, it's
Yeah.
cold. And then the only
Freezing.
other two really for me is the shape of the wall, which is difficult, and then of course the staircase. So we like our LED projector, and the LED projector does not project onto a curved wall.
Yeah.
That just doesn't work.
Doesn't like it. Yeah, so it's interesting as well with furniture, trying to fit square, flat-shaped furniture onto round-walled rooms.
Fortunately, I mean the curvature, it's quite big. It was quite big.
Yeah,
So the
quite
curvature
broad.
is not that.
Yeah,
for
tight.
couch, you're not losing that much space.
Yeah, but it is
But it is different. It's
does
not
mess
it's
with
not
your mind a
straight
bit.
wall. Yeah.
The staircase.
Yeah, you've got to fit a staircase without losing too much space. So it's always going to be a little spiral number.
Yeah, and that is quite. So that's I would say another huge, and I think you will have seen from the video, a huge con of the silo, depending on your degrees of comfort and adrenaline addiction. The spiral staircase. Jean has a fear of heights. And so that was almost the deal breaker for us when we went
that
and
first time
visited
I
the
was,
silo for the first time.
Wasn't happy going up there, but it's surprising how quickly you adapt to
You
it.
adapt to it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
adapt to it. Just
yeah.
hold on, because
And-
the
yeah.
shower was upstairs.
The shower and all the bathrooms were up the spiral staircase.
Yeah, well, the one bathroom on the first
Yeah.
floor and the shower on the second floor,
Yeah. And
or the third floor.
and then you have
at the
to
top.
really have rules in place that no carrying things in your hand
No coffee.
up and down. Definitely no hot drinks or anything up and down, and also what your alcohol consumption. Once you're up if you've had a few too many to drink.
Check that your feet aren't wet.
Check that your feet aren't wet.
Your
and
hands aren't wet.
You're not allowed to be in a hurry, so if the phone is ringing on the ground floor and you're on the top floor, you're going to miss that call because you cannot rush down those stairs.
Although I was in the shower after a run, when Abigail came running up the stairs with the news.
With a very, very important
And then she really
call.
came up
And
those
I
flight
did-
of stairs.
I did
and
run
I'm
up those
in the-
stairs.
in the shower. What is going on now?
But that story is for another video. Overall, I
you
would
know.
say for us, definitely being non-conformist and not wanting to be in city areas, it was an absolute win for us. So the pros outweigh the cons from our perspective. So we would love to hear from you if you've ever lived in some kind of non-conventional places. Have you ever lived in a silo? Or maybe you've lived in a windmill or
Yeah, I'm sure.
a boat or
A train,
what other van
a
life
plane,
or boat life
An
or
automobile.
yeah, what kind of non-conventional homes have you lived in? Let us know in the comments down below. So I hope you found this interesting. In the next video, we're going to take you on some of the adventures we got up to in and around Stellenbosch.
Hope to see you there.
Bye friends!
Oh, we are all